Halito, halito. What's up, beautiful ones? What's happening with you? So, I just wanted to say, you really got to have the guts for this. You got to have the guts for this genealogy shit. So, when you find all of the Indians and you see their indigenous names and you become familiar with your tribes, with your nations that you descend from, and you get past that. What's up, Prime Time? What Gapo Tasha? Hi, Keisha. Hi, Jason. And you get past that, once you get past the Aborigines and you see that the colonizers that they mixed with, even the colonizers that they mixed with have some sort of nobility. It gets really trippy. And you know what? Going through all of this, I'm going to tell you the truth. I ain't found an African yet. And I'm in like the 4th century. I shit you not. I'm in like the 4th fucking century. Once all you get past the colonizers that came to America, then of course you trace your bloodline back to the colonizers' land, because we know here in America it's always been here for us. But when you see the intermarrying between exchange of bloodlines of nobility, then you begin to see what those people, who they are, right? And who they are related to. And when I tell you the shit don't fucking stop. Now last week, brother Donnie Norwood was into the 1000s. And today, let me just show y'all what happened in Phoenix today. Okay? Once there's no more documentation of the Americas, then that 2, the 10 colonizers that mixed in with your folks, they have history as well. And if you see this shit, you see that I'm back in the 600s on our bloodline. Okay? The fucking 600s. Now, it went cold at that line right there. So now, here's another line with the 600s. All princesses, duchesses, kings. This shit is crazy. It just keeps fucking going. It just keeps fucking going. Now I'm in the 560s. I've never even heard of these fucking people, not even in the history books. This is a little different, specifically because it comes from the Mormons. This is family search. And apparently when you add one relative in the family tree, when you create it, it attaches you to every known relative that you have. And this is the result. Now, I've always used family search for references and certainly for documents, but I've never created a family tree on family search. Okay, so now you have King Siegbert. This is of France of Austrasia. We don't even know what the fuck these places are anymore. Okay? King Athanagild Balthus of Hispania and Septimania of Visigoths. Okay? We don't know shit about these fucking people. And what we do know about them, we were never taught. Look at this shit, it's still opening up. We were never taught to associate ourselves with our bloodline fucking relatives. Now we all know that our mother is America. And we all are now able to attach ourselves firmly to the land. Now look at the people. These are the motherfuckers that was found as so important to attach themselves to us. Look how deep this shit goes. Of course, these are not the pictures. Do not get caught up in the thumbnails. Certainly, those are, you know, there's not going to be any portraits back in the Polaroids back in the fucking 400s. And look at this shit. 436. I'm tired of going. I am tired of going. I really did not expect any of this shit. Okay? Chieftain of the, I don't even know who these people are. Princess of something. Ostrogoths. This is 269 AD. Anno Domini. Look at this shit. They all have family numbers associated with them. Okay? Flavius, Witchmere, de Toxandry. Look at this shit. Look how important it was for these people to descend into our American bloodlines. What are the fucking... Look at this shit. 335. Okay? 335. Bloodline fucking relatives. There's some shit. Now, how many motherfuckers will believe the fact that we could trace our bloodline back to 335? Can DNA do that shit? Can DNA tell a motherfucking American Indian that they related to Flavius Witchmere de Toxandry from the year 335 to the year 393? How many motherfuckers would believe this shit? Right? You see this shit? You see this shit? How many motherfuckers would believe that you can go back to the 300s? If I sat there and told motherfuckers and didn't show them shit, outside of this group right now, how many people would think that I'm a fucking absolute liar? People would think that I'm an absolute motherfucking liar. Right? So this is what they give us to work with. One of the tools, right, for our ancestors to give us to work with, that's connected with the Latter-day Saints, the Mormon Church, right? The keepers, the guardians of the records, right? Let me get back to the main folks. Hold on, I'm going to turn it around again and show you how it's all America. And the only point, it never leaves America. It's the colonizers coming to America. And their importance to be able to intermix with our American royal bloodlines. I found out a lot about the state of Tennessee. I found what we know to be the state of Tennessee and what we know to be Kentucky and West Virginia and Ohio and Indiana. I'm also going to need everybody to stop thinking that they got an Indian relative from down south, okay? Because you can have an Indian relative from Chicago, which you know to be Chicago. You can have a Shawnee, Shawano relative from that you know of from Indiana. Had no idea how far the Powhatan Confederation really extended itself. The history books just doesn't give it enough props. It just doesn't give it enough props the way these people was governing and running this shit. Now you're getting into the part where you see that I have tribes, I'm related to tribes that had war with each other. They had fucking straight up beef with each other. These ones mess with the French. These ones over here mess with the British. This is the shit where it get real deep now. When you find out you motherfuckers, you ain't got nobody from the Congo, but you may got 3 or 4 Mayflower relatives. What are you gonna do with this information? Get it in your mind that you might not be Powhatan. You might be Mohican, right? You might be Pequot. You might be Narragansett. You might be Kickapoo. You might be Micmac. See, now I think that we've maybe, I don't know if I contributed to it, but I get to redeem myself at this point where I just know what happened primarily in the South. But now I see what happened in the North as well, right? And we got another fucking problem. You want to know what that problem is? That problem is not so much that we've been called white, black, or mulatto, and colored. What about the family members that have been called white? They were still taken outside of their tribal status, right? What about them? And they got the same goddamn mama as the same one that was now on another census labeled black or colored, right? Found something real interesting I'm going to share with y'all about the state of Tennessee when I go take that to YouTube. If you haven't already, certainly subscribe to both channels, Phoenix Moon. They both Phoenix Moon on YouTube. But what we going to do with that? Not only are you Indian, but you related to royalty that came over. So now we have to even do a different mindset of how we deal with the colonizers too, right? Now we got to have a whole different way we deal with them. Because what they also tried to hide was the fact that they are related to us, right? Or somebody lying. Look like some people was expecting everybody to keep thinking that they was from somewhere the fuck else. So grandma don't seem so important. Now all this shit coming full circle. All this shit coming full circle. We ain't got time for no interruptions. We don't got time for clown shit. We have a responsibility. We have a serious, serious responsibility. This is how you minding your business and you put in one of your ancestors' regular names, and then some other shit just pops up, right? Do family search. 1 second, look like so these people take you all over except for where you need to be. You can't expect them to bring you where you need to be. I just find this remarkable. So even with the marrying into the bloodlines, you got the top of the top. You got the top of the top. The Aborigines from wherever else they came from, right? That's already been dominant somewhere else. It's crazy. My reception is messed up. But I'm going to show y'all how I go from regular John Doe to Chief Amatoy Matoya, right? Moitoy, right? It just goes from one regular common name to something else that you never even heard of, right? Then it shows you, brings you all the way back to the Powhatan and Morning Stream and all of that, right? Morning Ripple. Then you get all into the Explorer accounts and stuff for their interactions with your 16th great-grandfather. Then you'll be excluding some of them because when they moved to free states, they were considered white. So people will skip past them in ancestry just to say that that's not their folks. And it's the same person that was labeled black back in 1820. But now that they live over here in this particular free state, they're listed as white. they're still not listed as Indians. So politically, they didn't make too many complaints because there was a lot of shit that they were able to do. Right? Let's see if I can open this up. My network just completely went out here. Maybe I'll just save it for later. But once you know, all the Indians that you're related to, and you see the colonizers that they married, then you go digging up on the colonizers, and when you see those colonizers, it goes all the way back to 335. 335 AD. Water Clan, Deer Clan, Wolf Clan, Wild Potato Clan, Shawnee, Pamunkey, Chickahominy, Mattaponi, Kickapoo. Shit deep as fuck, y'all. Get it together. Chipisala chique.